Hello, welcome back. Today is Monday the 26th of October. I'm at home in my woodland garden. As you can see behind me, I've got all of my raised beds here. I have a bean arch that's kind of leaning that way that needs to be taken down. I've been growing Sims Corsair beans on there, which grow really long, and I've been just saving those for drying beans really, and saving to share them next year. So everything is starting to look really kind of glum up here. It's been raining quite a lot the last kind of week or so, so there's not really anything I can do at the allotment today, or even kind of digging around the ground, because it's just so wet. So I thought coming up here and working on my raised beds would be great, because with raised beds it drains quite quickly and they're really easy to work when the ground is wet. Also, I still have about 100 red onion bulbs to plant, and the remainder of my garlic, which is germador. So I thought, let's get this area tidied up, and then hopefully maybe by the end of the day I can get my garlic and onions in, and I'll be so pleased with getting those all in, because that's the last thing in the autumn or winter that I ever plant. So once I've got that job done, I can really just start on so many kind of things that I want to be getting on with at home. You know, behind me you can see my garden's very overgrown. I've got brambles everywhere. I've ordered some really big gauntlet like leather gloves that hopefully will be coming later today, so I can really get a good start on the brambles. And I've also ordered 3 new cables for my strimmer, because they'd all broken and ran out. So I've got loads planned here for kind of the next week or so. So I'm hoping with the 2-week lockdown that's been imposed on Wales, that I don't really actually even need to be visiting my allotment much over the next couple of weeks, and this will give me the chance to just get my head down here. But firstly, I better start by getting on with some work, and I'm going to get that bean arch down. Before I take my bean arch down, I just need to get all of the beans harvested, and I wanted to show you really how big some of them are. The variety is Sims Corsair, and they grow so long. They were from the Heritage Seed Library last year, and I think this year now I've got enough that I can actually share some seeds with other people, so I'm so excited about that. But they just seem to always do so well up here in my woodland garden. Even now when everything else has kind of died back, these are still looking quite good, and I think it's much more sheltered up here. So definitely one to put on your grow list if you want long ones, Sims Corsair. Before I get on with any of the hard work, I just thought I'd show you what the beans look like. I've harvested them all now, and they are the biggest, juiciest beans ever. A beautiful kind of dark bluey, almost black colour, and they are so beautiful. As I said before, they cook amazingly, but I always go to a couple of seed swaps every year, and if they're on next year, I'm really hoping to be able to take some of these and share them too, because they are just absolutely beautiful. Anyway though, enough for me talking. I do need to be getting on with clearing this garden now, otherwise these onions and garlic are not going to get in. The bean plants are all down now, and the bamboo canes are cleaned, ready to be stored in the shed for winter. In the past I've probably just left them up and let them overwinter and pull them down early next year, but these actually cost quite a lot of money each, and they're really thick and solid, so I want to make sure that they last for as long as possible. I had some at the back behind these ones that were growing some peas up, but they have been left out for so many years they've completely rotted and fallen apart, so that's going to be just composted this year, and these ones are going to be kept nice and safe, ready for next season. Now all of the bamboo canes have been put away, so I'm left with the 2 raised beds here. As you can see, they're still quite overgrown around the edges, lots of places for slugs and snails to kind of overwinter, so I will be going around those and just trimming them. When I've been mowing up here, because I didn't have any wire for my strimmer, I wasn't strimming around them, so it's looking quite kind of messy, really, isn't it? With this raised bed here, I stupidly didn't really think about growing anything over winter in this, so I put loads of grass clippings down, and then I put a layer of leaves over the top and thought, oh, I'll just look at this next year. But I think I'm going to remove that in a minute, put all of that on the compost, and then here can definitely be some onions and garlic. Here I've still got my Christmas potatoes growing just here, and as you can see, there's lovely green leaves still on there, so they're definitely growing. But at the back here, I've got room for onions or garlic as well. As you can see, the raised beds still have so much room to put more soil in. When I actually started with these raised beds about a year and a half ago, I actually did hugelkultur in one of them, and then the rest I kind of just, well, I suppose it was kind of hugelkultur, but I put, like, all of my grass clippings in, a bit of topsoil when I had it spare, a couple of bags of compost here and there. So actually, they are still in need of more compost, but I've got a couple of bags of compost today, so I will top those up as and when. And I also did say, didn't I, that I was going to be planting in this raised bed, but I think I'm going to leave this until my new gloves come, because there's stinging nettles up there, and if you can see, there is a fence there. Between the end of the raised beds and the fence are quite a few brambles and things like that, so maybe I will kind of just focus on this side of my raised beds, maybe later on in the week. But as you can see here, they are perfect areas for growing my onions and garlic in. They get lots of sun all year round, especially in the winter and early spring when the leaves haven't grown. There is something so therapeutic about opening compost and spreading it out. It's such a nice chore to do. The compost that I use is called Happy Compost. It's peat-free, and it's a really good one. Sometimes you get peat-free and it's really woody and looks like it needs to compost down for another year. But the stuff at my garden centre is called Happy Compost. It's worth having a look if you're interested in being peat-free, seeing if your local nursery or garden centre sells it, because it's quite good value for money as well. Anyway, I think it is about to start raining any minute now. So I've got my garlic here, and I've got my 2 lots of onions here. Now, in the past, my red onions have never done very well at all. So I think I'm going to put a whole pack of them in this compost here. And then I'm going to put my the garlic and the other onions in here, because I think this bed is going to be slightly better. And with my Germador, this is the 3rd year that I'm growing from the same lot, so I don't want to ruin my kind of seeds if possible. And we use so much garlic, I don't want to have that as a failed crop. I know I said that I was actually going to put some red onions in here as well. It so happened that, as you can see, my Germador have completely filled up this bed. So I'm going to cover them now, and I'm just going to have to find more space down at the allotment or something, because we absolutely love garlic and we did run out of it last year. So the more I can grow, the better. And I think they're going to do really well in this bed. So the onions that I've just put in here are called Electric, And to be honest, I did buy these probably about a month ago now, and I think some of them are starting to go a little bit soft. So I'm so glad that I've put them in the ground. There's still a few left in the bag, and there's still one other bag to plant, which I just haven't done yet. But I'm so pleased that I've got another lot of alliums in the ground. Luckily, the rain hasn't come to anything, which is quite nice. The final onions that I have to plant are these ones, and they're called Red Winter. I've never grown them before. They're not going to be going in the ground today. Hopefully over the next week or so, I can get them in the ground. But it's honestly, I'm so pleased that I've managed to get something in the ground today. I don't know if you can see in the background, it's all so brambly. When we first moved here a couple of years ago, I spent pretty much all winter cutting back brambles, and there's whole parts of the garden that had completely disappeared. But over time, things are just creeping back, and it just kind of, the brambles take another inch every month or so. So I really need to be getting on with so much here, but hopefully over the next week I could be getting on with that. I'm going to leave the video here. I hope you've enjoyed watching today. If this is the first time you're watching one of my videos, please do hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you can be notified of all of my latest videos. YouTube have some videos up on the screen now that they think you'll like, so please go ahead and watch those, and I will catch up with you in the next episode. Bye!